I'm going to go back into Runes of Law, and I do think Soda is still on his Druid.
Yep.
Don't think he's going to have time to respec, so it looks like they're going to go for the same tactic again. And I do think that, yeah, it probably could work a lot smoother, as Matt rightfully said. Happy Minty did have a hard time getting onto the back of Hafu for the first couple of seconds of the fight, and I think this could potentially change up and they could drop Hafu a lot faster. Do you agree?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. And I really feel as if they don't manage to get Hafu down, which is unlikely, that if they don't, I think they need to switch over to Glix or to Reagan, or at least maybe put a bit of pressure on Glix at the start, force him to use his... forgotten the name of the new talent.
Metamorphosis.
Metamorphosis.
I can't actually do that though because he's actually spec'd up to Unstable Affliction.
Oh, he's playing
SL.
full Affliction.
No, it's I think he's SLUA, which I think is a spec that you can go unless I suck. Let me check. Glix. Glix has Soul Link up. Yeah, so. It is going to be the places he just sacrifices as well. Okay, so Glix is going to go up at the front. Let's just follow Happy Minty, as last time he was important and crucial to the kill, and unfortunately was slightly delayed on getting involved. And Hafu is kind of open. You can see Soda will be in stealth, and they are going to open up onto Hafu, and she's in a situation, nowhere to run now. She's going to need everything to help her. Improved counterspell will be wearing off, so she now can do the Nature Swiftness heal, though she is doing it through Wound Poison. There comes a cheap shot as well, and in comes more damage, and Happy will drop, but look at Venruki in an ice block. Where's Soda? Soda's actually feared away, and Venruki's holding out. Please heal me, Soda. Comes out, just manages to get healed. MS actually put on first from Reagan. In comes the intercept, and Venruki going to be shut down then. So it's going to be important what Happy Minty can do. He's going to pop evasion. Going to try and go onto the back of Glix, gets feared. Reagan doesn't break that fear himself, but actually does, and Happy Minty will be getting shut down. Glix actually started doing a nice job, and there was a Cyclone there before damage onto Glix. Glix ticking down. In comes Summon Voidwalker. Surely he's going to drop as he's got 600, 100, and one more tick, and he's going to go down. Tries the bandage, is not successful, and Soda is going up against Reagan. Reagan is caught though into a Cyclone. Soda's going to run away and potentially, it's going to re-stealth, and you can see the wards. Oh my God, True Sight has just come up at the same time. A tick of that Life Loom heals Soda up to 4K. Reagan then, you can see, is actually bandaging on the other side, so going in with full HP. But Soda, if he can, this is going to be bad for Reagan. I think he might even going back for another health stone.
That was completely epic, and Soda is sitting at 2.8k mana at the moment, 3k. He's drinking up, and Reagan in battle stance at the moment. Yeah, Soda did a really great job to get out of intercept range so quickly. Reagan was sitting in a Cyclone. He is mounted up at the moment. But this is going to be an interesting 1v1.
You know, Reagan needs to act on this first Blade Storm. The thing about Soda and his position that he's in, he's probably used a lot of his cooldowns already. So if Reagan can get a decent opener, pop that Blade Storm after an MS, he can probably take down what would be Soda. And I can't imagine Reagan using all his defensive capabilities. You know, I don't know if he has Recklessness still available. You can see True Sight is up, Soda is in the entrance, and Reagan kind of cautious about taking this True Sight buffs, as it will mean more damage to him, and more damage to a warrior versus a Boomkin could be the reason that maybe why you lose. So at the moment, kind of just wants to sit and wait for the opener, and I'm not sure this is the best way to act, and I would go for Shadow Sight, and he does go for it. And he will try and take Soda. And actually, if he catches Soda in cat form, he's got him targeted just a little bit too late. Needs to, going to get Cyclone. Bark's skin is up, so hold off as much damage as you can. Pummel has been used on Cyclone, so in comes a Starfall. There was a nice spell reflect. Going to be taken away, though, with a Moonfire. In comes another Cyclone. Is going not to hit as a Blade Storm comes in, and Reagan's really just schooling Soda here, and Soda played that so badly, and Reagan played it so great, and they will pick up the second round, and that will put fnatic in the lead. And that's the thing, is like Reagan would have had that advantage when Blade Storm was back up, because Soda
waited it out.
Yeah, I mean, Soda didn't, he had Bark's skin available to him, but really, you need a warrior with Bladestorm at 70, level 70, with the HP you've got, can get the better opener, especially if he controls that initial burst, which is, you know, fantastically done, because some people might have just gone, you know, pew, pew, pew from the beginning with Bladestorm and MS, and probably might have lost the fight, because when they came out, they were vulnerable. He didn't. Reagan played it smart. Then, when he knew the opportunity was there, popped his Bladestorm.
Yeah, I think it's so hard for Druids now in 1v1, having to go such deep resto and not having feral charge and stuff. It's really difficult. And that was a really interesting start for me, that game. Just seeing Hafu come straight out the gates with full hots on her, just looking so comfortable, and still Happy Minty and Venruki just being able to rip through her. And I thought to myself, look, there's no way they're going to open up on Hafu when she's just...
Really?
She knew that was their tactic. She knew they were going to open up on her, so she was just the whole time just sitting at full hots. And I thought, look, they've got to go for Glix, who was completely naked at the time in terms of hots. And they didn't. They opened up on Hafu and still managed just to eat through all those hots and do so much damage.
Yeah, I mean, they did manage to get the kill. I was kind of surprised that they lost Venruki. He really must have become like put out on the pressure that was on the back of him. But yeah, Hafu was kind of opened up on, you know, she was nowhere, she was in, you know, no man's land. She was really kind of, you know, a decent distance from the tomb, and also a decent distance from the entrance. So really she was like right in the middle, and you know, all three had availability to kill her. So I think the decision was still good through the hots, but at the same time it didn't work out. So maybe they should have taken your advice. Yeah, positioning it, it was good to open up.
I suppose when you are out in the centre like that, on the one hand, on the one hand you can be focused more easily. On the other hand, your teammates can also protect you more easily,
which is a good thing, especially with Glix, obviously needing that time to grab Fierce in a lot of situations. Obviously, if she's running around tombs and line of sighting that rogue.
Yeah,
but, you know, they are playing against Undead.
Yeah, and it was quite interesting actually, because when Venruki was just about to go down, Happy Minty was just taking his time, really trying to get that re-stealth in, rather than go and help Venruki straight away. Had he gone and helped Venruki straight away, he may have been able to keep him up, but had he maybe waited a bit longer after he had re-stealthed, him and Soda might have been able to do a bit better in that 2v2.
Yeah, they might have done, but coming down as well to the final kind of seconds of the game when Venruki died, Glix had Soda into a really good fear, and you know, unfortunately for him, Reagan had an MS up straight away afterwards. Didn't actually kill, but still, you know, an intercept afterwards finished off Venruki.